Good afternoon. Welcome. Welcome to the market close. We got another green day. We got another green day on our hands. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. We also had some earnings. We had Dollarama drop their earnings today. So we're going to talk a little bit about that a little bit later. Also want to talk a tiny bit about trade surplus. We have finally got a trade surplus in Canada. This is the first month since Donald Trump dropped those tariffs that we have seen a trade surplus. We have been in a deficit every single month. So this is good news. It's good to see that, it's good to see that we're finally pumping out more than we're taking in. It'll be interesting to see where it goes from here. Anyway, the economy's been strong. The market's been we've had a good day on the market. I think everybody's sort of calmed down now that we're no longer worrying about about the rate cut or the lack of a rate cut. It's not bad. It's not bad. Let's jump on in. I'm going to pull up the market. Here we go. So yeah, look at this. We're well above this blue line. And those of you who don't know what that blue line is, well, that's where we ended the last month. So if we're above the blue line, we've got a green December. If we're below the blue line, we're in a red December. So right now, looking pretty healthy. We got a pretty good green December going on, despite the tax loss harvesting. Now, here's the thing, guys. If we stay in the green through most of this month, what is that going to mean for the Santa Claus rally? So that's something we're going to have to ask. Definitely. All right. So we are up 0.56%. Looking south of the border, the S&P 500 still in green territory for the month. They're not up much today. They're up 0.1. The NASDAQ, they're having a red day. They are down a wee bit. They are down almost actually a little past 0.5%. 0.52% to the downside. The Dow Jones having a really good day. Those industrials up pretty good, 1.31%. And the Russell, the small caps, they are enjoying the day. They're also up almost a full percent. So what can I say? All right, looking at gold today, gold having a strong day, up a full percent. Silver's up 2.83, so not too bad for our commodities. Copper back up again, 2.35%. Loving it. Oil, on the other hand, not so good for oil. Oil is down. So West Texas Intermediate down 1.64. Oh boy. Bitcoin, Ethereum, both down. Ethereum a lot more than Bitcoin. So let's jump on over here to our heat map for Canada. And you can see there's nothing really bright standing out here. The banks are still up a wee bit. BMO seems to be the front runner here, up 1.63% today. Everybody else kind of flat, like TD up 0.27, Royal Bank up 0.54. So not a lot of excitement, but at the same time, they're in the positive, so we'll take it. Some of our, CP up a tiny bit, CN down a tiny bit. Mostly flat. There's a lot of flat on the market today. Now, Nutrien is up, though, 3.39%. Looking at Dollarama. Oh, boy. And let's take a quick look at this right now, guys. Dollarama had their earnings today. So we're just going to come back here. I've got them over here. Oh, boy. So their earnings actually, and I said I wasn't sure that they would exceed. I wasn't sure. But they did. So they exceeded expectations on their earnings by 5.74%, on their revenue by, 1.17%. So not too shabby. And investors seem to like it. Like, we got a really big wick up here from 200 all the way up to 200, almost 210. But it was short-lived. And now, gosh, they're down. They're at 198.50. So Dollarama, good expectations, but I think investors are still a little worried, and we're seeing it. We're definitely seeing it in these numbers. All right. You know, this is the type of play, though. You know, if you were trying to swing this, you didn't have much time to get out if you wanted a profit. Otherwise, you'd be down a wee bit for sure. All right, let's switch to the United States. Our heat map for the S&P. Well, actually, this is for all of the U.S. It's all the U.S. companies. So, oh no, it is. This is the S&P 500. Sorry. Guys, I normally have this here. I'm going to switch it over. All U.S. companies. There we go. So tech, definitely down. We saw that with the NASDAQ. And you can see here, Google down 2.35, NVIDIA down 1.68, Broadcom pretty much down the same amount. Oh boy. Oh my gosh, it's not letting me open them anymore. Why is it not letting me open? All right, well, Netflix down big time. I believe that's Netflix. 10.85. No, it's not Netflix. There's Netflix there. Netflix is actually up. Oh, I do not know who that is. Oh, it's Oracle. It's Oracle. Oracle is down 10.85. So, oh boy, what can we say? What can we say? Tesla also down today, 1.27. If there's any highlight, Berkshire Hathaway is up. So go Warren Buffett and crew. They're up 0.82%. And looking at crypto, as you know, we got a little bit of red in the market. Everybody's pretty much down. XRP down 2.07, Ethereum down 4%, Bitcoin down a full percent, Solana down 2%. As is tradition, oh boy, and I can't open these yet. I don't know what's going on. I might have to do a, I might have to actually reboot my computer. Maybe that's what's going on. So I will, we'll grab one. We'll grab this bottom corner one. I don't know what this is. It is SVNSUSD. So yeah, it's not even telling me the name of it, is it? There's CAMTUSD. All right. Well, anyway, guys, you know what? Let's just try something here for a second. I am going to, and this time I'm going to do it the right way. Last time I tried this on air, I accidentally force quit. I accidentally force quit the wrong thing. This time we're not going to do, I'm going to be super careful. Let's see here. I want Safari. Where the heck are you, Safari? Safari, where are you? All right, there you are. I got Safari. All right, there we go. There we go. All right, now, let's bring it all back. And now I am going to, I also have to reshare my screen, guys. All right. And I want to get rid of that box there. There we go. All right, let's do that. We'll bring it back in. We'll see if this has fixed it. We'll see if this has fixed it. Here we go. Let's pull this back up. All right. All right. Now we're going to find out if it is working the way it should be. Let's scroll down. Let's grab ourselves our random green here. Let's see. You'll do. All right. I'm going to, oh, no, it's not. And I can't even right click to open it. So it's not us. It's not us then. It is, it's TradingView. TradingView is having issues. That's what it is. Well, there you go, guys. You got to see a tiny bit of troubleshooting, but, well, yeah, we'll stick on the one that we're on right now. You can see the name there, Benji. So this is the Benji coin. What is the Benji coin? I don't know. These are what I call crap coins. And the reason I call them crap coins is, well, it's like going into the casino. You go to the craps table, you throw your dice, you're probably going to lose. Very much with a lot of these little coins. Some of them pop up. Some of them are rug pulls. There are some that are good, but you really want to do your homework. You really want to do your due diligence big time if you're gonna play with them. It's just safer, guys, to stick to your big coins. You know, your Bitcoin, your Bitcoin, your Ethereum, your XRP, your Solana, and gosh darn it, even the Dogecoin. All right, guys. So whatever reason these are not working, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I'm just going to put myself back over on this one, and let's go big screen here. We are going to, so far we have, this week, we've hit the bell twice. We've hit the bell twice at the right time, and we were late on one. So guys, we are going to do our best today to not miss the bell. So, and this is where I get distracted, is when I'm in the chat. When I'm in the chat, I get big time distracted. We're going to start with Ian. Hello, everyone. I was looking at bank and their history of dividend increases. Yield now is lower or similar to the last 2 times they raised it. Hope that happens again. That would be nice. That would definitely be nice. I haven't heard anything, but that's the type of thing they're not going to be. They're not going to advertise until it happens. So let's hope you're right. I hope you're right for sure. Brian says, good afternoon, everyone. And we got Elaine in the house with a good afternoon, and Cowboys got some greetings going on. Scratch says, good freezing afternoon, everyone. Winter is at our doors in 10 days. Yes. And finally, it'll start. The days will start getting longer again. So it's kind of funny. It's kind of funny. Lisa's in the house with a hello. We got Paul with a hello, and Stan has a hello in there. Rory, good afternoon. Winter is literally at my door already. I know. Oh, I know. Strong economy where? Well, I'm just saying it's a good sign for the economy. I would not call our economy strong at this moment. We've got a lot of work to do. We've got a lot of work to do. Scratch, I am kind of scared for January and February. I might head to Torlamine. Okay. Yeah, I have a feeling this is gonna just be a nasty winter. I mean, it's already December, and it feels like January out there. I think today here, I think we're around a minus 24 wind chill. So what can I say? Rory says America. Brian, I was up a lot yesterday, but today in my TFSA, it's only up 0.04%, and my RRSP, including my US holdings, is down 0.28. Yikes. Yeah. Well, I guess it depends on what you're holding. I mean, it looks to me like we do have a green day, but it doesn't look like there's any real superstars out there today from what I saw. Cowboy saying minus 32 with the wind. Holy banana bread. We got 2.5 minutes to the bell, guys. Rory, same here. Blustery, blowing snow, and minus 30s with the wind. Let's see, not a day for an EV here unless you are pushing to stay warm. No, today, like it snowed all day yesterday, and we had some snow overnight. And today it's been more, the wind's been picking up, and I've seen blowing snow every so often when I'm looking out the window. What can I say? Rory, haha, stranded between elbow and eyebrow, Saskatchewan. That doesn't sound fun. Brian says, until they get better battery technology, Canada is not the place for EVs. And yeah, and I've heard a lot of stories. I've heard a lot of stories of EVs having trouble. It's not that they don't work in the real cold and in the deep cold. It's just that they don't work as efficiently. So you may not get as much out of a charge. That's what I've been hearing. Now, I don't know if any of you have an EV vehicle. What has your experience been in the cold weather? Love to hear it. Elaine says, what do you think of XIC for long term? Thank you. Let's look at XIC after the bell. If I go into XIC right now, I'm going to miss the bell. We got about a minute. We got roughly a minute left. Well, I can at least open up XIC. I'm gonna stop in the middle though to do the bell for sure. All right, let's get over here. Let's pull it up. XIC. All right, perfect. So XIC. So of course this is your iShares. So this here, iShares Capped Composite Index ETF. Pull up the last year, and this. I mean, look. This is not a bad. I mean, first of all, the Canadian market has been doing absolutely bonkers in the last year. So anything tracking it, VDY, XIC, any of those, they're doing really well. And of course, on the income side, HDIV also doing really well. So I do like XIC. I think it's fantastic. I really don't have any complaints about it. I mean, and look at this. I mean, you know, you've gone from $39 to $50, and guys, we got 1 second. All right, and the market's closed. This is good. Four. Sorry, this is three. 3 out of 4 days, I've hit the bell on time. So maybe this could be a new trend. It could be a new trend. Of course, we don't know yet if we have a show tomorrow. I don't know if the Nightbot has piped off yet, but of course we are on our Financial Express, which means we can add as many market closes as you guys want to add through this month. All it takes is either 4 supers, 4 gifted, or a combination. Any of that, and bang, we get a show tomorrow. That'd be a fantastic way to close the week, that's for sure. All right, yeah, so XIC, like I was saying, now I will point out with XIC here, you're not getting a huge distribution. I mean, 2.222%, but this, this fund is it's not designed for income. It is designed for growth. That's what you're going to get. You're going to get plenty of growth. If you're looking for a solid, so I've answered questions here before where people are saying, what's a really good stock if you want to just have some solid growth within something like an RESP? And obviously we talk about things like VFV, which tracks the S&P 500, but XIC is another one too. If you want to get your good Canadian exposure and you want some good growth opportunity, XIC is definitely there. So yeah, for long term, fantastic. Fantastic. I definitely love it. And I'm pretty sure, I've done it. I'm pretty sure I've got a deep dive on XIC somewhere on the channel. I think I've done it. I think I have. Morley says, made a few smaller trades today on unregistered account. Money is the pocket. Money is the pocket? Or are you thinking money in the pocket is better than money in the mind? I'll say that. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's like, yeah, put money in your pocket. It's we're slowly turning into a Quest Trade commercial. I just want to point that out there. Yeah, money in the pocket better than money in the mind. That's a good one. I like that. Rory says, Shoulder, Saskatchewan is AVGO reporting today. So AVGO, that's Broadcom. Let's take a gander. Let me take a gander here for you. Let's pull out our markets. All right, AVGO, here we go. I am going to add, and let's go down and take a gander. So here we go. So yeah, they were technically reporting on Friday. So it could be, and does it tell me? It says 14:30, but once again, this uses a central time. So it's hard to say. It's hard to say. I think it's probably going to be tomorrow morning. So we'll get that. If we're here tomorrow, we'll get that. Now I will point out, we are one step closer to being here tomorrow because Kelly gifted a Mountain Finance membership to Amrit. Amrit, congratulations and thank you, Kelly. That makes you our first goat of the day. So we got one in the corral. If you want to join Kelly, you know what to do. And we're 3 away. We're 3 away from a show tomorrow. We got lots of time though. Lots of time for sure. All right. Now here's the fun part. Trying to find where I left to go highlight what let's see here. Oops. Come on, guys. All right, there we go. It's moving finally. The slide bar just didn't want to move for whatever reason. All right, so okay, let's see here. Let's see, Cowboy. All right, Claude says hello. Gotta go grab a coffee now. Nice. Rory, places that sound dirty but aren't. We're talking Climax, Saskatchewan. All right. Let's see. Newfie locations have some special names too. They do. They do. Actually, there's a community called, I think it's called Dildo, Newfoundland. And I'm trying to think, was it? I think it was Jimmy Kimmel. I think it was Jimmy Kimmel who made a big deal about it. But one of the late nights, guys, correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought it might have been Jimmy Kimmel. But they made a big deal about it and highlighted it quite a bit. It was either him or Stephen Colbert, but I can't remember exactly which one. But it was one of the two. Let's see. Funny people to work with too. Scratch says silver to new all-time highs today. What a great time to see this rocket ship launch to the moon. And I am a big fan of silver and of course gold. Silver is also, gold gets a lot of gold gets a lot of press. And part of it is, of course, and I don't even want to talk about the the hedge against inflation, or the hedge, or the hedge against the economy. I'm thinking more or less when we're looking at circuit boards. I'm thinking of electronics. I'm thinking of gold being used for that reason. Well, silver is also pretty integral in a lot of circuitry, a lot of circuits. Um, Also, I think if you're looking at like solar, a lot of solar technology as well, silver's in there as well. So silver is huge. And of course, you guys all know I love copper as well. Copper, I don't think you can find anything that will conduct electricity better than copper. So definitely definitely a good time to be looking at silver for sure. And just take a little glance over here. How is silver still? Here we go. Yeah, look at this. They're still up 2.93% on the day. And here's their actual chart. I mean, they've had a good week. Silver's had a good week. All right. Doorpat says, yeah, wondering the same thing. XIC versus XIU. All right, we looked at XIC. All right. This one here is XIC. And you know what? I got this other one open. Let's do this one. XIU. Here we go. All right, so this one here is the iShares S&P TSX 60. All right, and you're going to see almost the exact same shape. The difference is they track slightly different things. So this one here will only track the things that are within basically the biggest 60 on the TSX. Now, I don't know if they're holding 60, if they're actually holding 60 positions, probably not. But they probably pick and choose from that top 60. Now this one here, whoops, this one here, over here, this one is not limited to the top 60. They call it a capped composite index. They have a little bit more, I guess you'd say, I would call this one a little bit more diversified, but they're both really, really good. I like them both. I don't think you can go wrong with either of them, to be honest, Dorpat. All right, Cowboy, place your bets. If you bet against me today, you lost. I'm just saying. Northern Cal says, good afternoon, all. Look at that, 303. Someone sent a question on taxes just before the bill. Oh boy, I'm going to have some coffee. I'm having coffee because that's exactly how to do it. You throw something like taxes, and I have to think more. And that's the danger, right? 2-minute warning. All right, that shows that I'm about 8 minutes behind. Actually, 10 minutes behind. Paul, in BC at 7 degrees Celsius with an atmosphere. Yeah, that's a lot of water. So when you get those rivers, that atmospheric river, it dumps crazy amounts of water. So yeah, I mean, the flooding, oh boy. Rory says, yeah, saw the flooding on TV in BC. Terrible. Why does a stock sometimes go up the last 30 minutes of the day? So i.e. Tesla. Well, it's not just the last. So basically the last 30 minutes, the first 30 minutes, it's the rush, right? You've got people who are coming in that's like, oh, I want to get this done before the market closes. And when they hit that last 30 minutes, it's like, oh boy, got to do it now. Or conversely, when the market first opens, it's people who've been sitting there waiting to make a trade before the market opens. So yeah, you do tend to see a lot more action in the beginning and the end of each day. The middle tends to be where things sort of calm a little bit more. Will XIC make it? Let's see, a good bell day. No trees in BC to slow the rain down. All right, let's see here. The Nightbot. Nightbot's in there. Oh, and guys, we fixed the Nightbot. The Nightbot can no longer say poo-poo if you decide to go with a string of emoticons. So go to you know go to town with them if you want. I know Paul did, like, what was that? Was that 15 you did the other day, Paul? That was hilarious. So 3 angels and 1 demon so far. Oh, that's right. That's right. So every time I get the bell done on time, an angel gets its wings. Every time I miss the bell, a demon gets its horns. That's what you guys determined yesterday. All right. Well, it's Christmas, so I should be trying to help the angels out right now, for sure. Ian says, Rory, do you need help between elbow and eyebrow? I know some guys around there. Okay. I don't even know where those are. All right. Let's see. No, Ian, we were talking when EVs would fail in the winter. I'm not down there. No EVs, never will. All right. Okay. And I probably could have skipped that conversation, but that's fine. A bad day to be on the highways in Saskatchewan in some areas, though. Yeah. And I mean, the worst thing on the prairies, too, is that you've got nothing to stop the wind. So you can get some serious blizzard conditions. Even without it snowing, you can get some serious blizzard conditions. All right, Elaine says, I'll go look for the deep dive on XIC. Thank you. And yes, it was for growth. I do have VFV also. Okay. If I don't have an XIC, and I'm pretty sure I do, let me know. Let me know, because I should have an XIC on the channel, at least one. Salutations. Hello, Isaiah. Let's see. I own an EV. It's an earlier version called a combustion engine. Okay. Fair enough, fair enough. Pecker's Point, Newfoundland? Ah, boy. Gas, diesel, propane, natural gas is all good. Unofficial CFL weather score, Winnipeg 1, Saskatchewan 0. Why not? Larry's in the house. With America's national strategy announcement of kicking China out of South America, Canada, I'm currently looking to see if any Chinese ADRs are there. If BYD gets kicked out, bullish for Toyota and Tesla. Yeah, that would be interesting. Because of course BYD is China's big EV manufacturer, so that would be certainly good for well, anybody that's making it in the U.S. or anybody that's not in China per se. Cowboy, wonder if our 15 billion battery donation will be used for conventional gas cars in the USA? That's a good question. That's a good question. Maybe. All right. Was seeing a gold chart the other day. Do you think that someday we'll see decades of no movement in gold price like we did in the past? Yeah. Is that possible? It's possible. It is absolutely possible. Of course it is. But here's the big thing with that. Obviously, one thing we would need to see a stagnant gold price for a long period of time is pretty much an active market. We would need people to be very secure in the markets, because gold is that place. When things go wrong, people tend to start moving. When they want to move out of securities, out of regular securities, they'll move into gold, things like that. So I would say, yeah, if we had a long, like even if we had a very long bull market, it wouldn't even have to be a really aggressive bull market. It could just be kind of a, a mild bull market that just lasts for a long time. Sure, gold could stagnate a little bit during that, but, and this is the big but I'm throwing in there. As we keep moving forward with technology, though, there's still going to be a demand for gold. So I think even if gold stagnates, it's still going to move to the upside. Maybe not by, not with a terribly big slope, but I think it still will to a certain amount. So there's a lot of things. There's a lot of moving pieces for sure. QQQ bell bait. Ha ha. Are there any silver and copper ETFs? There's a Hug for Gold by Global X. So yeah, there's there's now a copper covered call ETF, and I think that's a Global X one. So they are, and I want to actually, Newell, one of the things I want to do is I want to do a new video. So I got to do a little bit of research and try to see the new ones. Like I know a few of the older ones, but I want to see everything that's out there, and then we'll get there. We'll get there for sure. All right. Now, I do see something. I see a super sticker coming in from a Scratch, who is voting for a Friday show. So, well, that gets us halfway there. And Kelly's not alone in the corral, because we got another goat. We have another goat. I love it. All right. Well, thank you very much, Scratch. And guys, we're halfway. If you want a show tomorrow, we're halfway there. That's a good sign. That's a good sign that we probably will have a show tomorrow. All right. Now let's see here. Where were we at? Gotta love it when you're really far behind. I think I know where we were. Let me pull it up here. I saw, there we are. There we are. So what I do, because I have to scroll to find where I was at, is I look and I remember a post, a particular one. In this case, we were just talking to Noelle, but immediately after Noelle came Mary. Mary is here, guys. So Mary is our unofficial captain, or not unofficial, she's official, totally official. She's our official captain of that like button. So guys, you got to hit it, turn it blue. Mary watches, she watches the likes, oh boy. And if it falls below, she'll speak up for sure. While you guys are busy doing that, that means I get to enjoy coffee. So that's the other reason I love when Mary comes in. It's very good coffee too. All right, Brian says, has anybody seen dividend information for CPCC? And guys, that is what I was just talking about, the copper ETF. I can't find anything other than it aims to pay monthly distributions. I'll just keep putting my dividends into 60 until I know. Let's take a look. If it's announced, it normally will show up pretty fast in here. So here we go. So here is our Global X copper producer equity covered call ETF. So let's take a look in here. No, I'm not seeing anything. I'm not seeing an ex-dividend date, but I'm still going to go into the back end. We'll see if we have anything at all listed yet. Nothing. Even if we go to the news, let's see. It just says, yeah, all we've got is the launch information so far. So it hasn't been out long. Don't worry. It will come. We will know soon enough for sure. But in the meantime, let's just go back to the overview for a second. I'm going to pull up, I guess, the 1 month. So since it has come out, it's gone up from, let's see here. What did it launch at? So it opened at $20.16. It's now $20.88. So we got a little bit of movement on it. I like that. All right. Michael says, hello, Candace. I purchased a few more shares of Smart REIT to average down and for income. Any thoughts? All right, let's take a gander here. Smart. Let's see, Smart REIT. Of course, that's not coming up. Why? Give me the ticker of that one. Give me the ticker of that one. It's not coming up right away. I keep thinking SRU. Oh yeah, this must be it. Yeah, your Smart Centers. Okay. Yeah, so we'll go with Smart Centers. We'll pull this up. All right, so you are averaging down. Okay, let's pull up the. Well, actually, I don't know. Smart Centers has not had a bad year. They've actually been moving up for the most part with higher highs. I gotta like that. Now they have retracted a little bit now. So if you average down, yeah, of course, at 25.11, you've definitely averaged down. With this one, like most REITs, I don't know. They used to be kind of that income play. So right now, this one, you can still see it has a pretty good dividend, 7.333. But, actually, I'll go to 5 year. This gives you a general idea. Normally, they're up about $30. So that 7%, that 7% yield, it's usually much lower, but it's simply because they're down a little bit. So normally that would be, I believe, like back in the heyday, they were around a 5% REIT, somewheres in that area. So yeah, this one is down. Will it come back? I think 2026 is going to be a good year for REITs. Is it going to be a fantastic year? No, but it's going to be a good year. So I think you'll see some movement to the upside, but I think a lot of the bigger movements that we thought were going to come into REITs because of, well, when the interest rates come down, people stop investing in bonds, and they tend to move over to things like REITs and utilities. We have seen the movement into utilities, but we just haven't really seen it into REITs. So REITs have kind of got a complicated situation too. All of the immigration changes as well certainly played in and kind of kicked REITs a little bit too. But I do think 2026 will be a better year. They should have a consistent movement to the upside. So you're probably going to be fine, Michael. I think you're probably going to be fine. But yeah, good old REITs. Newell says, I would rather buy the raw materials itself, but seems kind of silly to have gold, silver, and copper lying around at home. Yeah, pretty much. Although I will say, some people like it. Well, some people don't even, like for example, the Royal Canadian Mint. So they actually provide custodianship for your precious metals. So for example, if you want to invest in gold, but you don't want to have to deal with the security, with the safe, with all of that, you can actually rent a place at the Canadian Mint, at the Canadian Royal Mint, and they'll put it up for you. And I think they'll also do like palladium and let's see, palladium, platinum, probably silver as well. I don't know about copper. Well, they probably, maybe they'll let you do copper, but with copper, I don't think it's so much about, I don't know if I'd be buying physical copper, but maybe there is a copper market out there. Can you buy copper bars? Now I want to know. All right, guys, I'm going to Google because I really, really need to know this right now. Copper bars. Let's see. Holy banana bread. You can. This is kind of cool. Yeah, let's see here. Let's go to Amazon. You could buy well, okay, this is copper, but they're not technically, those ones aren't technically bars, but yeah, here, look at this. A half-pound copper bar bullion paperweight. That's kind of cool, $30, but I kind of like that. I actually kind of want that. Oh boy, that's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. I should reach out to my mom and say, Mom, if you want to get me an extra Christmas gift and mail it to me, one of these copper bars would be fantastic. All right, I legitimately really, and I love this one because you've got the atomic symbol there of copper. CU. I like it. All right. I'm getting distracted. I'm going off on a copper tangent. Cowboy. Neutered Nightbot. Sure is. Nightbot, I mean, I love the functionality that Nightbot has is fantastic. But like I said, I only found out 2 days ago that it was actually timing people out for emoticons. And I'm like, what the banana bread is this? No way. Not on my watch. Now you gotta, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, you gotta do something serious for, to get a timeout or to get booted out. Although there was that one stream I booted three people, but they were obviously in here trying to scam people. So that makes sense. To me, that's non-negotiable. Brian says, thanks for the reminder. Hello to hit the like button. Mary, I forgot. All right. Plug-in hybrid is great. Hybrids are not bad. I think hybrids are a great car for Canada because, if you do have to go someplace off the grid, at least you've got the gas option, right? Royal Bank just hit 230. What is happening? I don't know. Let's take a look. Royal. All right. I have to leave the copper. I don't want to, but I have to. RY. All right. Let's take a look here. Yeah, 200 and wow. And it's not 230. It's 230 exactly on the nose. Yeah. Look at this little bump. That's pretty cool. I don't know. I'll see. Let's see if we got any news. I'm just going to click on the news tab here. Parental pressure cooker. Family budgets overheating as parents grapple with high costs and now face holiday season expenses. That's an RBC poll. Hard to say. I'm wondering if you know what? Let's try something, guys. ROY Royal Bank. I'll just type in Royal Bank. All right. I know that one thing. Yes, you can see. You can know where I am. All of the big banks are going to be releasing their yearly reports today. I'm wondering if maybe it dropped. Maybe that's what's going on. This is a wild guess, but we'll figure this out. Let's just see here. Boop-a-doop-boo. Where is your investors? Oh, there we go. Investments. Ways to invest. No. That's not what I'm looking for. I am looking for your documentation, guys. This is investments. I need investors. Investors. Let's see here. Ways to bank. Nope. Insurance, newcomers, international banking. Holy banana bread. You'd think it would be. Most of them will have a little thing right at the bottom. But not so much this thing here. Let's see, investor service. Let's go to investor services. Why not? Let's see, recent insights, market services, spotlight, browser insights. That's not what I want to know. That's not what I want to know. I want to find news and events. I actually want to find their documentation. Okay, well, that's not helping. It's not helping, guys. I'll try one more thing. Let's just go back to Google. We'll do Royal Bank 2025 annual report. All right. Let's see here. It's definitely out, I think, from the looks of things. No, that's their fourth quarter annual report right here. Let's see here. Royal Bank Annual Report 2025. It is out. It just doesn't tell me the exact date it was published, though. So I don't think it was this. But nonetheless, guys, now you know how to find a Royal Bank Royal Report. Annual report. I guess it could be a Royal Report, but, you know. What can I say? All right, Brian says, I own a boat anchor. It's called a Honda Civic Hybrid. At first I thought you actually meant a boat anchor. And I'll tell you where I thought you were going. I thought you were going to say it was made out of copper. But, well, if you want a boat anchor, though, you probably want it out of more lead than copper. But let's see, 2008 with only 123,000 on it. 5,500 for a new hybrid battery. No thanks. I was parked behind my BMW. Guess which car I drive. That's a lot for, oh boy, yeah, that is a lot. Newell, I heard there was some news about Mark Carney talking to China about fixing the EV tariff situation, though I think that was back in October. Not sure what happened there. I don't think anything happened. I have not heard anything more about that. So, yeah, and it's kind of one of those things like, with the U.S. tariffs, it makes sense to try to grease the wheel in the rest of the world, just to try to get as much trade as possible. But I haven't heard an update on that at all. Doorpat says, instead of buying ADRs, I was thinking of doubling down XEC. TSMC is 10% of the ETF, and it includes Samsung, Nintendo, Tencent, and Alibaba. Yeah, it's an interesting. I mean, it is interesting for sure. You're getting some good exposure. I do love Taiwan semiconductors. So I think they're pretty strong, and that does have a pretty good amount of It does have some good companies in it. Now, the problem is though with Tencent and Alibaba is that some of their products, especially things that are being that have normally flowed into the U.S. because of using de minimis exceptions, which basically means that they're not paying any kind of duties on things that are cheap. And that's how a lot of companies like Alibaba and Tencent and there's a few others over in China as well that do that. Um, and now that exemption is going away. So unless they find a way around that, that could hurt some of those companies. But you know, um, I think I don't know. It's just for me, it's not. I just don't want a lot of China exposure. Now, the one exception is I know there's that new ETF that has the Chinese tech sector. That would be one sector I think I would make an exception for because I do think Chinese tech, um, well, they're going to be pushing things. They're going to be pushing things, and they're in a bit of a race with US anyway. So that's not a bad one, I think. Um, Cowboy, copper is the crackhead's favorite metal. Yeah, they a lot of I don't know if they're all crackheads, but a lot of people steal copper. Like copper theft is massive. So what can I say? I will say though that like a lot of work, like a lot of construction sites actually hire security guards because people will come in as, especially once the wiring part starts, and they'll come in and they'll pull the wiring out of the walls. They'll take any copper pipes. They'll take whatever they can get their hands on. And some of them have even tried to take copper from like live wires. It's not a good thing. Buy a copper bar. I like it. I like it. Buy a copper bar and wait for it to turn green. I don't know if I would do that. I don't know if I would want to do that. If you want to buy copper in Nova Scotia, ask the criminals. They are wreaking havoc on construction. That's exactly what we were just talking about. Yeah, absolutely. Um, yeah, I mean, and it's not just Nova Scotia. I mean, it's everywhere. It's rampant across, but Nova Scotia, I can see it be even more because one of the things that, and this is for all of the Maritimes, not just Nova Scotia, but when you start looking at disposable income, the Maritimes has some of the lowest disposable incomes in Canada, so money's tight. Because of that, yeah, you do see a lot of interesting theft in Nova Scotia for sure. Um, and I grew up in Nova Scotia, so it wasn't that bad back then, but um, yeah, it's certainly a tough place to be living for sure when it comes to that disposable income. Um, Paula's celebrating with an emoticon. No, that's not technically. That's what that would be called ASCII. Isn't this what we would call ASCII in this case? All right, Tom says, hi, Candace. At the end of your last live stream, someone wanted to know what I got my settlement on Wealthsimple for. Is there any way to reach out to another member on this site? Um, yes, but not on the stream per se. I think what you would have to do is if you want to reach out to somebody is maybe meet up with them on a Discord or on the Facebook groups. If you agree to meet somebody there, then you guys could like exchange some contact information. I think you could do it that way. That would probably be the easiest way because I don't even know. Well, if they see you in a comment, not so much here, but if they see you in a comment on a video, I think they can click on your name and it would take them to your YouTube channel because everybody has a YouTube channel. You may not have anything on it, but you technically have a YouTube channel if you've got a username. And if you've got an email connected for contact, they could contact you that way as well. But that would be the main way I can think of. So yeah, like right now, I can, even with you, Tom, for example, if I wanted to reach out to you, I got no way to do it unless you're on the Discord or unless you're on the Facebook. So those would be the only ways I can think of. All right, we'll see you soon. Brian says copper is between $5 and $6 a pound. Care to invest 10K into physical copper? Let's see what room you will put 2,000 pounds of copper in. Yeah, and guys, I'm just gonna let me just go back here for a second. So this copper bar, can I get it bigger? Can I get? Ooh, look at that! There we go. There we go. There's my copper bar. I don't want it as an investment. I'm just going to put it out here. I don't want this copper bar as an investment. I have a science background. I am a geek when it comes to the periodic table of the elements, and the fact that, this to me is just something I would, quite literally, if I owned it, it would probably be in the background somewhere. Because I think this is cool. That's all I want. I want this for coolness. This is a FOMO. This is me, a fear of missing out on something that's cool. That's all this is. Anyway, let's go big screen for a bit, so I can get away from the copper. Let's see, Paul. We have a 2018 Toyota Prius Prime, fully loaded. We got used in 2023, $20 a month in electricity for home charging on 120 volts, empty to full in 5.5 hours. Buy a tank of gas about every 3 months. Okay, not too shabby. Let's see, Prius was much better technology there than Honda. Ugly but better. I almost said ugly but Betty, and then I'm like, wait a minute, that was a show. But not the but Ugly Betty. Anyway, what can I say? China's EVs are supposed to be a spyware on wheels. That would not surprise me. That would not surprise me at all. All right. Oh, Dorpat says they actually did report a few minutes ago. They beat expectations, up after hours now. All right. You know what? Let's, oh, that's not where I want to go. Let's go take a look. Let's take a look because, we have them down here. All right. I'm not seeing anything, but I can see after hours. Look at this. So right now in the after hours, they closed at 406.77. They're now sitting at 420. So yeah, there we go. Even though this is listed on Friday, but keep in mind too, I was going to say because of the Prime Meridian thing or wherever time frame it is that they're using, but this is clearly listed on Friday, but releasing after hours and releasing just before hours it's not that big of a difference. It's not that big of a swing. Let's see if we get some data in here soon. That's kind of cool though. Watching, I love watching things in the after hours sometimes. All right. JE says in LA they will strip your car down to bear chases overnight. And it is amazing how cleanly they do it. Oh boy. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. There's places where you can, I actually, believe it or not, in Halifax, I had my bike stolen. I had just bought a bike. I chained it up downtown, went into, it was basically just outside of an apartment, a friend of mine. So I went inside. I was there for 30 minutes. I came down. The only thing left was the chain, and it was cut. I was like, I can't believe it. So it happens. But after that event, I just started doing the double thing. So, not just the chain, also the thing on the wheels. But that was the only bike I ever had stolen. But it got stolen, nonetheless. All right, gonna quickly jump ahead here. We got ourselves a super coming in from Danny, otherwise known as Kievan Kaz. So good afternoon, gang. Going for a Friday show. This brings us within one, and it also helps pump up the corral a bit. We've now got 3 goats in there. We got Kelly. We got Scratch, and we got Kievan Kaz. So who will be number 4? I don't know. Could it be you? That's up to you. It's not up to me. But yeah, so we're one away. We're one away from a Friday show, and that'll be cool. That'll mean that we've had pretty much, yeah, a lot of market closes. I approve. All right, Ian says, I would use that copper in the shop as a back plate when I'm welding sheet metal. Okay. There we go. There we go. I will say I've never welded anything. I've watched somebody weld before. Um, well, not closely because you shouldn't really stare at somebody welding because there's a reason they wear them those visor things because it's not good for the eyes. Brian says I use copper bars, plug welding holes in structural steel. Oh, okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Oh, this is a good moment to have some more coffee, I think. So good. It doesn't plug holes in structural steel, but it makes my tummy feel pretty good. Oh boy. Well, it is now official. It is now official. Brian dropped a gifted Mountain Finance membership for the number 4, and well, first of all, let's give Brian his goat. Brian is now joining the other 3 in our corral, our greatest of all times corral. So it's a good place to be. Thank you very much, Brian. That also means we have a show tomorrow. So we will be having a Friday market close. Fantastic. And who got the membership? I have to glance over at the other monitor because it doesn't show me over here, unfortunately. Let's see. Darren. Well, congratulations, Darren. I don't know Darren. Might be one of our lurkers, but welcome to the banana bread brigade. Is that what we're called? I don't know what we're calling it, guys. You guys just tell me what we're calling it, and I'll go with it. And Paul says, "Thanks, Brian. You saved me $1." There you go. Well, you can save that. Save that for tomorrow so that we can, we can get a Monday show. There we go. HND versus HNU, natural gas. Thinking of setting them off against one another in swing trades. Will it work? All right. So these are both Beta Pro, and they're also leveraged. So I believe they're both 2x. Yeah, that's kind of a difficult one. It's kind of a difficult one because obviously the big factor that's going to mess things up here. So if it technically, if you invested in both at the same time, let's say you put exactly $1,000 in one, $1,000 in the other, they should be moving at opposite directions. So you should break even. You would think so. However, if you go past a day because the actual leverage, so that 2x leverage, it resets every day. And that could throw some interesting results into the mix. And somebody, and sometimes people are like, well, what does that mean? So let me show you. Let me show you an example. So that means we need, we need the whiteboard. That's not the whiteboard, but it is where we need to be. Let's go over here, just regular Canva. We'll bring up the whiteboard. All right, so I'll give you just a quick example of how resetting leverage, how it can mess things up. So if you, and I need a tool, let's get a pen. All right, here we go. So let's say we're just going to deal with one stock. So let's say, for example, let's say you have a simple stock, $100. That's what it's worth. It's $100. It doesn't even matter how many stocks, but let's just say you have $100 worth of something and you've got a 2x leverage on it. So we'll just put a 2XL over here. So in the first day, if the underlying asset goes up, we'll say 10%. There we go. So if it goes up 10%, well, that's kind of cool. So you now have, in this case here, you're up to 120 because you went up 10%, right? So you're looking at, actually, let's not even do it that way. Here, give me 1 second. I'm trying to think of an easy way to explain this. All right, so I'm not even going to, we're just going to say 10% is your overall up. Okay, so overall, you went up 10%. So let's just say that there is $110. Now, if the next day you went down 10%, and this is kind of the big thing. So if you went down 10% the next day, what you're going to see is that 10%, it's not on the $100. So when you went up, you went to 110, but the next day you went down 10%, even though you're going back to exactly where you started, it's 10% of 110 because of the reset. So because of that, you actually will go down $11 in this scenario. So you would end up, even though the asset went up and down the exact same amount, you basically end up at 99. Now, mind you, it's a little more complicated than that, but that's the basics, because I was gonna start to put the leverage in there too and sort of show you the leverage numbers, but you don't really need to see that. We'll just use straight values, but that's what happens. So that's why, you can, even though you did this and you did this, and you should be equal, you're not. Because of that reset leverage, you're a little bit lower than you were, and it can potentially really mess things up. So you can be in situations where, if you're trying to play these long term, where you end up with, oh boy, you end up with a loss, even though logically you're thinking, I should have a gain, I should have a gain. And if it wasn't reset every day, then yeah, you would have a gain. But in these situations, that's kind of what happens. All right. Anyway, oh boy. Where were we at? Oh, yes. This HND. So yeah, the problem is, see, here's how I would play if I was going to play these pairs. So basically you've got, you got a bear and a bull. I would be sort of looking at how the stock is moving, and I would be switching between them, because quite literally, and even then, I would only be playing in a 1 day period. I would not be playing outside of 1 day, because what can I say? What can I say? Tom says, every time I watch your stream, I get a coffee. Weird. It's a form of subliminal advertisement. It's why some coffee company really should sponsor me, because I'll get people drinking their coffee. Okay, Kelly says, what affects stocks like IVN? Is it mineral discoveries, or just when they attract the interest of other investors? First of all, let's bring IVN up here. All right. Oh, that's not where I want to go. I think I closed it. I think I did. All right, that's fine. We'll just bring up a new copy. All right, so good old IVN. Now, there's a few things, obviously. So this here is a mine. And here we go, 1398. They were up today, a little bit up today for sure. Actually, this is a mine that has a pretty big volatility on it. So, because we were doing this search, actually yesterday, when at the end of the show, we were doing a little search and we looked at some high volatility stocks, and this one came up as one of the highest in Canada for stocks nonetheless. So yeah, so you got a couple of things. Obviously, if they find a new mine, if they're doing some exploration, they find some, sure, that will impact their price, absolutely. But a lot of it is the product too. You got to look at it this way here. So one of the things you'll look here is that here's the mineral exploration. Here is also the development. So yeah, there's a lot of things that will impact it as well. Now, it's not, in this case here, where they do a lot of exploration and development, you don't get that very direct relationship with the price of gold. The price of gold will impact it, absolutely, but not as much as it would with something like London Gold. London Gold, they do a lot more mining, where this one does a lot more. I would say most of it is mineral exploration and development. So yeah, obviously, if they find something, that certainly helps. That certainly helps expand things. Right now, I think they've got, let's see here, they recover minerals and precious gems. Yeah, well, they do that as well. So, and that's in Africa. So that's another thing too. And if you are in a country And the politics of that country will certainly come into play. We have seen, I believe it was Barrick Gold, they had a country that actually shut down one of their mines for a while, just because of some of the political stuff that was going on. So there is politics that comes into it. The price of gold comes into it. And yeah, of course, if they find a new mine, if they find a massive vein of gold, that will certainly impact their price as well. But there's a bit of factors in there as well, and of course, the overall politics, the overall economy of Canada, of the price of gold, that will, of course, that impacts the price of gold, which then, of course, impacts something like IVN for sure. I do like IVN. I think they're a little underrated, to be honest. I think they're going to do really, really well on the long term. And I know there's a few of you in here who keep always going, "Why did you sell IVM?" Well, every time I've sold IVN, it's because I've been using it in a swing trade. They have volatility. I like that volatility. And well, here, let's back out a little bit, and you might be able to see a little bit of that volatility here. So yeah, you can sort of see up, down, up, down. They do a lot of this up and down movements. And that's really good for swing trading. That's why that's why I've sold them at times, because pretty much anything I invested in my trading account, none of it's long term. It's all, volatility is my friend in that case. Let's see here. Rory, sound like two cats in a bag. Could be messy. Maybe I asked this before. I didn't do it then either. Oh, the HND versus NHU. Yeah, I've heard of people. I've heard of people who do it and have done things similar to it. They've never really done anything good. I mean, to me, it's like, if you're playing natural gas, if natural gas is spiking and doing well, then yeah, absolutely, you could play the bull. If natural gas is doing bad, you can also look at the bear. And some people, what they will do as well is, before the market's even open, some people will start going through the futures and looking to see what the futures. Sometimes, not always. I want to say this. Sometimes futures can give you a general indication of what will happen or what might happen. What might happen is a better word, of what might happen on the market that day. It's not always accurate, but I would say it's accurate more times than it's not accurate. I would say probably 60% of the time. If futures is up, the market tends to be up as well. But also keep in mind, because futures is up, it doesn't really give you any indication on how up the markets will be if they follow suit. So use it as kind of a loose guide. And I know we've actually done a few market opens on the channel, just for something different. And that's one of the things that we usually look at on the market opens, is we usually take a look at the futures to see if we can get a general sense of where the market might be going that day. All right. Oh, I can turn off. I'm going to just do that. Turning off the night bot, because we got a show tomorrow. We got a show. Zyborg. Let's see. After getting kicked in the Kiwis for 2 straight Lululemon earnings, I sold half my position for a loss today to protect against a third hit. And of course, after reporting, they're up 10%. Oh, it's kind of like the Murphy's Law of investing. It's like, yep, I've been here before, but there's a rule. There's one golden rule in investing. It's the number one rule, is that past performance, or, whether it's positive or negative, is no indication of future performance, positive or negative. So something can be down for the last 10 years and it can be up tomorrow. That's a possibility. Now, if it's on a downward trend, is the odds that it's going to be up the next day? Well, no. There's probably a better odd that might continue. But keep in mind, there's never any guarantees. So this is a great example of Murphy's Law of investing. All right. Roku says, hello all. Update. Wealthsimple is now offering me $150. Ooh, it's gone up. So yesterday it was $50. Now we're up to $150. The issue I have is my monthly statement and my daily activity feed shows a different ending balance. This is caused by Wealthsimple doing, let's see, back office transactions causing a mismatch. Yeah, and I'll tell you, one of the things I love Wealthsimple. I love them for their ease of use. I think they're good, but sometimes I find that their data reporting is not always the best. And I've honestly, pretty much any broker I've used, I've never really cared about their back end. I have typically, I typically do my own data. I'm pretty good with Excel, and I'd rather just sort of keep track of things myself. And that way, I feel like I'm more invested in funny because it's investing, right? But I feel like I'm more invested in my investments per se. Wow, bomb stock play. Let's see, back office trans. Oh, we got that. All right. Oh, that's a cool sword. I see it. I see it. I've always wondered, like, if you've seen, like, some of these people have made these ones that, like, they're using like 30 lines and they make like Baby Yoda or something out of ASCII. Um, I've always just like, I'm just not that artistic. I've got an artistic flair, but not that much. Roku says, why? Because someone didn't deduct withholding taxes during my RRIF withdrawal. Oh, there we go. Now, that's interesting that they didn't do that. Huh. All right. And that would cause, yeah, that would definitely cause some of the data to get kind of skewed. And this is the thing, you know, to me, I don't know, that shouldn't happen. It really shouldn't happen. I think they need to get that part of their business. Like, I love all the new features. I love the ease of use. I love Wealthsimple, but I've known a few people who are like running into little discrepancies, and I've heard things where some of their total returns are done by looking at where it peaked on a day, not open or close. So I'm like, what? Why are you using the highest value on a day? If something spiked up really big because of some crazy news, that's not the price. That's not the total return for that day at all. So yeah, I don't know. It's kind of that whole thing. It's that whole thing. Rory, just a thought. Let's see. IVM has the best grades of copper. They will be the best copper mining company, in my humble opinion. So yeah, that is one of their other, one of the materials that they do have is copper, and it's good copper, absolutely. So, will it, is copper going to propel them? It's hard to say, but I will say this. Copper right now, we are looking towards a world copper shortage by about 2030. So it's one of the reasons that I've been really bullish on copper for sure. So IVN, yeah, they're going to benefit from that. Absolutely. QQQ, why are the taxpayers expected to reclaim the diamond mine in the north? I don't recall getting any of the profit they made. That's a good question. I don't know anything about it. A diamond mine in the north. Yeah, I don't even know. I didn't know we had a diamond mine in the north, to be honest. Or are we talking about North Africa? I know there's a lot of diamond mines in Africa, but yeah, I know nothing about this, cowboy. I can't give you an answer because I know nothing. Oh, there we go. We got fish. I like it. Paul, you're in your element now that the Nightbot has been neutered. Elisa says, obviously, okay, I obviously missed something, so sorry to sound dumb, but what is the deal with Nightbot? Okay. So yeah, Nightbot. So basically, for me to be able to put things in, so for example, like, let me just do this here, guys. I will drop my, I'm going to drop my wealth. Yeah, we'll drop the, no, you know what? Let's drop the Discord. We'll drop the Discord link. So something like this. So if you'll notice, I typed in exclamation Discord, and then the Nightbot will come back and give you the link. So if somebody wants to know, like, Discord or Wealthsimple or any other links like that, I can put it in so people can just type it in themselves if they want that link, or I can type it in to get that link. So that's one of the functionalities I wanted with Nightbot, and also the messages. So for example, when we're doing the Financial Express, it can provide that message to you guys or any other special messages. I can get the Nightbot to do it. However, the Nightbot has a lot more functionality. It can also act as a moderator. And that's where the issue was with the Nightbot. So what the Nightbot was doing is it was looking at people typing in emoticons. So, if you typed in, I don't know, a Pac-Man symbol 6 times in a row, the Nightbot would tell you you're spamming and tell you to stop it. Now, what I didn't know, and I didn't know this until quite literally, I know Lord Fubar the other night had a big issue with it. Apparently it was actually, it actually deleted some messages and threw both Lord Fubar and Paul, because I looked at the logs afterwards, it threw them both into jail. We'll call it jail. It's a timeout. It gave them both timeouts. I don't actually even know how long they had timeouts for, but that was unacceptable as far as I'm concerned, because I want emoticons. If you guys like this fish, like right here, these fish, I think this is awesome. I love it. And I'm a big fan of emoticons, and I want you guys to be able to do whatever you want. Yeah, I mean, definitely be respectful in chat, all of that stuff. But yeah, so the Nightbot was doing that. So I didn't even realize it. So that's on me. I take full responsibility. I should have probably figured out what the Nightbot was doing. So yeah, once I knew that was happening, I was just like, no. Because it was almost kind of funny that the Nightbot was giving people warnings for emoticons. I just didn't know. I just thought that's all it was doing. And we were making fun of the Nightbot when it did it. So I've removed that entire functionality from the Nightbot. So the Nightbot cannot give timeouts. The Nightbot cannot give warnings for emoticons. Now all it can do is give those links and give the announcements. So, and if we have, if somewhere's down the road we do a contest or something, we can get the Nightbot can do a draw, that type of thing. So those are pretty much the only functions that Nightbot will have any access to at all. All right. And Paul says there were tons of inappropriate ASCII emojis. I don't even know. Honestly, I don't even know what was typed, because the Nightbot actually deleted them all. So maybe they were inappropriate. I honestly don't know. I have no clue. All I saw was that Nightbot deleted a few things, and even in the logs, it doesn't show me what it deleted. Like, I'd like to know what it deleted. I mean, every so often, I think on here, like, I have honestly, since we've begun this channel, I very rarely have ever had to do anything. There was that one, last month, where we had 3 bots, or I don't know if they were bots, but they were in here and they were all doing the same thing, trying to scam you guys, and I ended up booting all 3 of them, and that was actually kind of fun. But yeah, what can I say? Cowboy says, is the difference in my end of day balance because of overnight trading? Well, it shouldn't be. Well, let's put it this way. So overnight trading, it's only US stocks. So if you're not, if you've got if you got your Wealthsimple and you're holding Canadian stocks, that shouldn't be impacted by that. Now it could be impacted by some of the weird accounting stuff that apparently they have going on at night, but for the most part, I think you're fine. US stocks, even then, it really shouldn't. It should, because the price should stay at where it closed, and then it shouldn't be adjusted until the morning. But Wealthsimple is getting into after hours trading, and that could be another set of data in there that could be getting influenced. So it's a possibility. I can't definitively say no, but it shouldn't. That's the whole thing. You shall not pass because of the sword. Although technically that should be a staff then. Got sword. How much can I trust broker T-slips? At that point, I would say you could trust those really well, because that is what's being reported to the CRA. So that's what they're using. and that's what the broker's using. You can certainly, I mean, if you're tracking it all yourself and you see something unusual in a T-slip, you can certainly reach out to them and challenge it, I guess. But I think at that point, that's where they got to cross their I's and they got to cross their T's because, dot their I's, cross their T's, because that's kind of very legal at that point. All right. Let's see. I wondered about IVM because I'm old enough to remember the Bre-X scandal. Uh-oh, yeah, that. Hopefully there's enough regulation to avoid any more helicopter accidents. Yeah, there's a lot of regulations. Those are going to be issues down the road. Yeah, there's going to still be issues. It'll happen, but the regulations I think are much better today than they were during Bre-X and all of this other stuff. I wouldn't be super concerned about it. If it happens, though, I mean, yeah, technically that's a black swan event because it could. I mean, you take it. I'm just trying to think of a great example. There was what the heck? What mineral was that? Was it platinum? I'm thinking of those mines. We had those mines in North Carolina that got flooded. And that created a little bit of a bottleneck on, was it platinum? Guys, I can't remember what metal was in those mines, but I know it did cause a little bit of a bottleneck, and that's kind of a black swan event. There's nothing you can do about something like that. I think regulations get better every time there's an accident. It makes people start to look at the regulations a little better, especially safety regulations. So I think we'll be better. I think we'll be better, but. And I wouldn't bet my life on it, though. I will say that. Let's see. Good day, all super late. Got 50 MSTE today at today's low, 516. All right. Well, I do think MSTE has the potential to go lower. I don't. That's not anything somebody wants to hear, but I do think on the long term, if you're white knuckling it from here, this is not a bad entry point. All right. Northwest Territories, or NWT and Northern Saskatchewan have diamond mines. Oh, it is Northwest Territories. Okay, fair enough. It's funny, diamonds is just something I've never really paid attention to at all. But that's because I'm more into gold. I like gold and copper. All right. Ekati and Diavik mines are wanting federal funding to reclaim mine sites. Okay, fair enough. I'm learning. See, you guys are teaching me. You guys are schooling me right now. I love it. Let's see. I see fish for the ASCII emoji on my phone, but on the TV it is 4 boxes. Oh, interesting. Well, I see the fish here. I wonder, though, when I actually pull it up, though, Paul, are you still seeing just 4 boxes? How many of you guys are just seeing the boxes when we look at Paul's fish? Ask AI the grades of copper mines and compare them with IVN, Candace. You might turn copper into gold. I will tell you right now. When I look, so if you look at something like gold, I think gold is solid. I think it's going to continue to go up. But percentage-wise, if you look at where copper is now and where the price of copper potentially could be in the future, that's a much bigger jump in price. That's a bigger return on investment than what you're going to get with gold. Absolutely. Let's see. Imagine if they don't help with those mines. Well, hopefully they do. I mean, we want to have infrastructure. I mean, I don't know how, diamonds to me is not a critical mineral. But nonetheless, it's still critical for the economy, right? It's still good to get stuff like that out. Lisa says, thanks, Candace. I was so confused about what Nightbot was. Okay, no problem. DBO. 2 has been doing awesome in the last week, up 30%. What do you think of it at this level? Insiders are buying tons. Yeah, we've looked at DBO, I think, a few times. Let's continue. It continues to go up, but here we go. So D-Box Technology up another 7.87%. So this is just the last week. I'll pull up the 1 year because then you can kind of get an idea of what's been going on with this one. So this is the one that has haptics. So this is the one that does the haptic technology. I think haptic technology is definitely something, when we start to look at the future, we start to look at just different interactive devices. I think haptics is going to be huge. So I like this company. Like they're, oh God, look at that. They're at 96 cents. We can start calling them a penny adjacent stock if they keep this up. But I do like this. I do like this one. I do. I really do. And I know we've looked at it. Like I think this is our third time this week, or maybe third time over this week and last week. Let's see. If they do, it will be a Brookfield contract for sure. Good old Brookfield. Let's see here. Wealthsimple changes my total amount during the evening based after hour prices up until well past midnight. Okay, fair enough. And I will admit, guys, I don't pay attention to that very much. Like I said, I basically do my own tracking. You know, I'll know what my total return is by my spreadsheet, and that's to me that's the end all be all. Um, let's see. Paul says on TradingView to see after 8 p.m. Eastern, you have to switch to the boats market. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. But I will admit, by 8 p.m. Eastern, I no longer care what the market's doing. That's my off time between 8, basically between 8 and 8. There we go. That's pretty much it. So 8 p.m. Eastern till 8 a.m. the next morning Eastern. Those are my off hours. I just, I squeeze some sleep in there. I watch some dumb YouTube videos. Occasional, okay, yeah, I do watch some financial content. Not a lot though. I try not to. I try to decompress during those times, for the most part. For the most part. Let's see. Northern Gal. Disagree with T-slips. You should always compare with the records. Having that problem right now with misfiling by a brokerage. Yeah, if you're keeping track of your own records, and you get a T-slip that completely seems out of whack, that's where you want to be reaching out to the broker, and you want to give them your data. You want them to basically have them double check all of their calculations, because if you're good with Excel, then now mind you, there's always that chance if there's a disagreement before I would even reach out to them. Let's say Wealthsimple had numbers that I thought were off. First thing I'm going to do is I'm not going to reach out to them right away. I'm going to double check all of my calculations, because I can make an error. You put in a 14 instead of a 19, or a 19 instead of a 14. Yeah, it could be my error. I'll double check. I might even triple check before I reach out to the broker. That way there, I'm coming in with a solid, it's like, yeah, you know what? I've double checked all my stuff. And get them, appeal it with them, have them take a look at it for sure. BreX made lots of millionaires. Let's see, my spreadsheet shows adjusted cost base and dates bought, dates sold for my swing trades. Nice. Now, Bitcoin and Ethereum are going up now, market closed. Oh, are they? Let's take a look. Let's take a gander over here and see. All right. Oh, I'm at the bottom. I was trying to scroll down. It's like hilarious. All right. So, yeah. Oh, yeah, look, Bitcoin. Yeah, Bitcoin having a nice move to the upside. Ethereum kind of following, not quite as strong. But, yeah, not bad. Not bad. Rory says, yep, just watch Bitcoin's USD price. Northern Gal says, I see boxes, not fish. Thought it was just me. Oh, I see the fish. It's funny. I do see the fish. Now here's a question. You know what? Here, let me try. I'm going to try something here. So I don't actually have emoticon. I have like custom-made emoticons. Well, they're not custom-made. They're like on my system here. So I can do things like... you know what? Let's try this. I'm going to spam, guys. All right, now I just spammed a bunch of Canada flags. Now this is coming from an Apple thing. So let me know if you see Canada flags or boxes. Kind of curious to know. Let's see. When you pull it up, I saw boxes. I saw pause. Oh, when you pull it up, I saw boxes. But you saw his fish in the chat, but when I pulled it up, you saw boxes? I didn't actually look at where I brought it up. Now I'm kind of like, let's see here. Let me see if I can, I'm going to scroll back to those fish. Where are the fish? Oh, here they are. Let me take a look. Oh, no, on the screen as well. I see. Oh, interesting. All right, guys, I see fish in my thing, but when I look at my test account on the side, it's showing me boxes. It's showing me boxes. Ah, interesting. Interesting. All right, that's kind of weird. Oh well. No, I mean, at least I can still enjoy the fish before everybody sees boxes. What can I say? Oh boy. Cats are better in box. Yes, every one of those boxes probably has a cat in it. The cats ate the fish and jumped in the boxes. There we go. Let's see. Fish shows up fine in my sidebar, but when replayed on the video as a chat insert, they go as a box. Yeah. Not understanding why the diamond mines would not be subject to reclamation laws used to work in an environmental firm. Interesting. Yeah, I'm not sure about that either. Let's see, Scratch. I'm talking about the grades that Kamoa-Kakula complex has compares to everything that produces copper. Okay, fair enough. Gold and silver are better conductors for electricity. Just copper is cheaper material and is effective. Well, copper's really good, though. It is really good. But on some very fine micro things, like especially transistors, gold is really, really good for that. Gold is in your phones. It sure is. In Edmonton, you can still pan gold in the North Saskatchewan River. Have you ever tried it, though? Have you ever tried it? I'm curious. I've never panned gold. Test strips for diabetic testers are gold tipped. Nice. Diamonds have terrible resale value. That's why I sold my rings after my divorce last year and barely got 1/20th of the value. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I don't own a single diamond. I don't want a diamond. I've just never. I don't even like them. Maybe if I wanted to cut glass, but even then. Let's see. Battle River. Blocks ETF declared distributions of 14.16 cents per share this morning. Previous week was 13.15 cents. Okay, and the week before was 12. So hopefully crypto continues to go up. Let's hope so. QQQ, is Wealthsimple tax preparing like fours reliable? I've never had any issues. Like I use like the tax, Wealthsimple tax. I've used it, I think, the last 3-4 years. Everything is jived with what it should have been. Like I've never had any single issues with it per se. Not to say that there aren't issues, but I've not had any. That's all I can say on that. T4s. Let's see, closer to the Rockies, the better with the flower gold. The primary reason for computer recycling is to recover precious metals, gold especially. Yeah, absolutely. All right. Oh, here are my Canada flags. I'm going to see. I got to wait. Oh, no, there's still Canada flags on the test one. So, yeah. But mind you, they're not ASCII. They're not ASCII. They're technically emoticons. All right, let's see here. Aluminum cans I collect for refund every year. Let's see. I once had Wealthsimple issue me dividends on January 2nd, but they backdated it to December 31st. So income received in 1 year, but reported in a different year. Often they pay dividends and backdate. That's interesting. That is interesting. Yeah, that is kind of interesting. I've never really looked that closely at that, to be honest. But like I said, right now, I don't have a lot in Wealthsimple, and everything I have in Wealthsimple is in a TFSA anyway, so it's not like it even matters. But yeah, absolutely, that's interesting. Let's see. I see the fish in the chat and the boxes on the screen. Yeah, yeah. See the flags on the chat. I see flags. There we go. A whole bunch of flags. Rory, yes, I panned the North Saskatchewan, found some gemstones, fossils, flakes of gold. That's it. Oh, well, hopefully, fossils are kind of cool. Let's see. North Saskatchewan has gold powder. My husband has panned there, not getting rich on it. Okay, fair enough. And yeah, more flags. Yeah, the Saskatchewan River has been panned to death since the 1800s. Not much left. like looking at the ETH and Bitcoin chart. ETH was in a downtrend for a long time and now in an uptrend, but today down compared to Bitcoin. Yeah, absolutely. I agree, Candace. I don't get the appeal of diamonds at all. Well, diamonds, it's funny. See, diamonds, I've heard somebody once describe diamonds as one of the most successful marketing campaigns in the history of marketing. Because people will pay crazy amounts for diamonds, especially like this whole thing. Like if you're going to buy a diamond for an engagement, you're supposed to spend 2 months' salary. It's like what? No, no. I just can't agree with it. I can't agree with it at all. The dividends are always the ex-dividend date. All right, let's see. And is that what's going on tax-wise? I've never looked at that, and now I need to look at that. I need to look at that. Thanks, Paul. You guys have been good. This is the best thing about having these market closes every single day, is you guys are throwing some stuff to make me go look stuff up. I love it. Let's see. T-slips go by the December date, not the payable. All right. Fair enough. Diamonds have diamonds have probably more industrial use than personal use. Yeah, like for example, for drills, for some drill bits are diamond tipped. Absolutely. I mean, they're hard. They're a very hard gemstone. Let's see. Doesn't brokerage get dividend and then pass it off to you the next day? Typically. So typically when you have the payment date, if the payment date was on today, so let's say today was the payment date, the 11th, that would be when the broker receives it, and then they would give it to you the next day. But now, so if I think I hear Paul right, Paul is saying that the actual ex-dividend day is when the tax event would happen. So that's kind of that's interesting. I did not realize that. I'll double check that as well. 3 months. Let's see. Do you give any credence to the rumors of Jane Street manipulating BTC? Honestly, Danny, I've not heard this. Not to say that it hasn't happened, but I haven't heard anything about it, so I don't really have I don't have an opinion at all either way. And here's the other thing too. I mean, right now, I kind of want to put this out there as well. Like, as the liquidity and the amount of just the amount of market cap in Bitcoin, you need a lot. You would need a lot of money to really manipulate the price of Bitcoin nowadays, especially after the spot Bitcoin ETFs of last year came into the market. I mean, that pumped so much liquidity into Bitcoin. So I don't know. I'm skeptical to a certain extent, and I haven't actually heard what happened with the Jane Street thing, but I'm a little on the skeptical side. I'm not saying they didn't do it, but I'm just saying I'm a little on that skeptical side for that one. All right, guys, holy banana bread. We went another hour and a half. Fantastic. So we are coming back tomorrow. And tomorrow is HYLD and HDIV. We got a video for them. Those are going to drop out on us tomorrow. That's going to be fantastic. Now, I'm on my way out, and we got a super sticker. Now, we've already got our 4 goats, but in situations like this, we're going to send a beaver to keep the goats in line in the corral. Here we go. Here's our little beaver. Actually, I originally made that as a joke, basically saying the Canadian, we were buffing up our military for NATO commitments, and that was kind of the joke, was the beaver with a little sword. But anyway, thank you very much, Janet. I certainly appreciate that. All right. So once again, we have a new video coming out tomorrow, and we'll be back here, of course, at 3:45, 15 minutes before the market close to start this off. And guys, just so you know, in the new year, I'm thinking of moving it up to 3:30, just to give us a bit more time before the market closes, so that we can look at things a little bit in more detail, all of that fun stuff. All right, everybody. Huge shout out, of course, to Kelly, Scratch, Kiev and Kaz, or Danny, Brian and Janet, all of you helped out the channel a little bit today, and we will see you guys again tomorrow. We'll do it all over again. Until then, enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you tomorrow.